In each moment, we must ask ourselves, is this thought really mine? Does this desire come from my deepest essence, or is it the influence of the environment? Only through such constant introspection can we separate the true from the false and find inner freedom. The Stoics also believed that the environment should not be the source of our suffering. We often worry about being criticized, judged, or not accepted. We seek approval, and when we don't get it, we feel pain. However, Marcus Aurelius said, "The opinions of others are their opinions. It is up to us to choose how to respond to it." He was calling us to inner equanimity. No matter what is going on around us, we remain the center of our universe. For the Stoics, the ability to separate oneself from one's surroundings was a core skill. They realized that the world may be unfair, violent, chaotic, but it is in our power to remain calm and clear in our thoughts. When we stop reacting to external stimuli automatically and start consciously choosing our response, we gain true power. We become like a rock that cannot be shaken by the waves. This does not mean that we should be indifferent to the world around us. On the contrary, Stoicism teaches us compassion and understanding. However, this compassion should not cause us to lose ourselves. We can be a part of society, we can interact with others, and still remain true to our principles and maintain inner peace. Practicing Stoicism is a daily endeavor. Every day we face challenges that test our fortitude. But each time we choose to maintain clarity of mind and equanimity in the face of the outside world, we become stronger. We learn to be ourselves regardless of what is going on around us. The world around us may be full of noise, chaos, and anxiety. But there is a place within us where this noise does not penetrate. That place is our mind, our soul. And it is here that the source of our true happiness lies. We must learn to protect this place, to guard it from undue influence, and to use it as a fulcrum in every situation. In this way, Stoicism offers us a path to true freedom. It encourages us to stop looking for approval in the outside world and start looking for it within ourselves. We cannot control what happens around us, but we can control our thoughts, our reactions, our attitudes. That's where the real power lies. When we begin to live according to these principles, we will find an inner peace that does not depend on the opinions of others, on circumstances, on success or failure. We will become masters of our own destiny, immune to the winds of change and the opinions of others. And in this peace, in this inner freedom, we will find true happiness. Our thinking is shaped by many factors. Upbringing, life experiences, education all play a role. But one of the most powerful and imperceptible factors is the influence of environment. Just as water gradually shapes the course of a river, our environment slowly but surely influences our mindset, beliefs, and reactions to the world. When we talk about thinking, it's not just about the ability to think, but also about how we perceive reality. Thinking is a model of reality that each of us builds throughout our lives. This model is not static. It is constantly changing under the influence of new knowledge, experience, and, importantly, communication with others. But how often do we think about who exactly shapes our worldview? Our environment can literally program our thinking. The people around us can either support our ideas and beliefs or destroy them. If negativity, cynicism, and doubt are prevalent in the environment, it infiltrates our thinking. We begin to doubt our own abilities and see the world as a hostile place where our dreams don't stand a chance. On the contrary, if we are surrounded by people who believe in us, support and inspire us, our thinking becomes positive. We begin to see the world as a space of possibilities. This effect can be compared to a mirror our surroundings reflect and simultaneously shape our inner selves. Stoicism teaches us to strive for independence from external circumstances, including our surroundings. This doesn't mean we should completely abstract ourselves from the world, but we should be aware of how external influences act on us. And being able to manage our perceptions is the key to freedom. The people around us can shape our view of life, but only we decide what that view will be. Emotions are one of the most powerful forces in life. They determine our moods, our decisions, and the way we perceive the world. But do we often think about the fact that emotions are not only our personal state, but also the state of those around us? Our surroundings can literally infect us with their emotions. If there are people around us who feel anxiety, fear, or frustration, sooner or later, we will start to feel the same way. This phenomenon is called emotional transmission. It consists of people subconsciously copying each other's emotional state. If one person in a group is feeling stressed, others will begin to feel similar feelings without even realizing it. Emotions, like thoughts, are transmitted through communication, facial expressions, gestures, and voice intonations. This is especially evident in close relationships when people interact closely with each other. Constantly being around a person who is experiencing negative emotions causes us to feel worse. Stoicism teaches us to control our emotions and not to give in to outside influences. But in order for this to be possible, we need to realize how our environment affects us emotionally. After all, if we are in a negative and stressful environment, it will be very difficult to maintain inner balance. The environment should help us feel better, not worse. This doesn't mean avoiding all negative emotions. That's impossible. But it is important to choose people who bring positivity into our lives and contribute to our development. Motivation and productivity depend on those around us. Many people ask themselves, why can't I achieve my goals? Why do I lack motivation? The answer to these questions often lies in the environment. When we see people around us who are moving forward, succeeding and growing, it motivates us to take the same actions. We begin to believe that success is possible and our goals are attainable. This creates a social proof effect. Seeing the success of others, we begin to believe that we can achieve the same. This effect works on a subconscious level. We begin to imitate successful people, adopting their habits and behaviors. Thus, the environment becomes a powerful stimulus for our motivation and productivity. If our environment consists of people who do not strive for development, do not set goals, and are satisfied with the minimum, it can have a negative impact on our motivation. We begin to doubt the need to achieve more. This is called the lowering the bar effect. We adjust our expectations to the level of the people around us. The Stoics believe that everyone should strive for self-improvement, regardless of what's going on around them. But they also recognize that one's environment can either help or hinder this process. If your environment supports you and inspires you to new achievements, it makes the path to success much easier. If the people around you don't believe in your goals or even hinder them, you'll have to work harder to stay motivated. Our behavior is the result of our thinking and emotions, and it also depends on who surrounds us. We often adopt habits and behaviors from others, even if we don't realize it. This phenomenon is called behavioral modeling. We observe how others around us behave and subconsciously begin to copy their actions. If your environment is used to put things off for later, do not care about health, or neglect self-development, there is a high probability that you will begin to behave in the same way. As social beings, we tend to adapt to the norms of the group we are in. This is especially noticeable in adolescence, but is also true for adults. If laziness and inactivity reign in your environment, these qualities can manifest themselves in you as well. On the contrary, if your environment is made up of people who are active, engaged in sports, and eager to learn new things, your behavior will reflect the same principles. Your environment can be the engine for forming healthy habits and making positive changes in your life. The Stoics teach that we should be masters of our thoughts and behavior, not allowing external circumstances to control us. But the environment plays an important role in how we act and make decisions. Being aware of this fact helps us to better manage our behavior and avoid negative influences. We live in an information age where access to knowledge and data is unlimited. However, this access also makes us vulnerable to information noise and misinformation. The environment today is not only the people we interact with in person, but also the information space in which we find ourselves. Social media, news, books, podcasts all become part of our environment and shape our perceptions. The information we consume can either enrich us or poison our minds. If we are constantly in an environment dominated by negative news, gossip, and entertainment, it will inevitably affect our thinking. We will begin to see the world as a hostile and dangerous place. But if we are conscious in our choice of information, feeding on inspiring and useful sources, it helps our development. We learn new things, broaden our horizons, and strengthen our self-confidence. The Stoics placed great emphasis on knowledge and self-development through learning. They chose the right sources of information, avoiding unnecessary noise. In today's world, this is especially important. We need to understand how the information we consume affects us and our worldview. It is impossible to talk about the environment today without mentioning social media. Social media has become an integral part of the lives of millions of people and plays a huge role in shaping our worldview. It's not just a platform for socializing, it's a huge information environment where we are exposed to a multitude of opinions, news, and visual stimuli on a daily basis. But social media doesn't always reflect objective reality. It's a space where everyone creates their own version of the world, often distorting it for their own purposes. News feeds and publications are shaped by algorithms that adjust to our preferences. This creates information bubbles where we only see information that confirms our beliefs, ignoring other points of view. This can limit our thinking and our perception of the world. We can start to believe that everyone thinks the same way we do and not see other views. This is dangerous because we lose our ability to think critically and evaluate reality objectively. Social media can also be a source of envy and dissatisfaction. People on social media post idealized versions of their lives, creating the illusion that everyone else is doing great except us. This can undermine our self-esteem and cause feelings of failure, even though it's far from the truth. Stoics teach us not to succumb to illusions and to stay true to our principles, regardless of what others think or do. Now that we've looked at how our environment affects our mind and how Stoicism helps us find inner freedom, it's time to take the next step in your journey to self-development. Remember that it all starts with awareness. Start noticing how your environment affects you. Start choosing what to allow into your mind and what to reject. This is your path and only you decide what it will be. If this video has helped you see a new perspective on life, subscribe to our channel. Here we continue to explore philosophy, psychology, and those practices that help you find true freedom and harmony. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Your experience can inspire others on the path of self-discovery. You are the master of your own destiny. And although the environment may be strong, your inner strength can withstand any storm. Remember this every day.